Welcome once again. Wake up, Nigeria. Yay, we're complete. Welcome, Emma.
Yeah.
Good to have you over.
Yeah.
So, very interesting things have been happening since the past 2 days regarding the petrol subsidy and all, and everybody's been either angst up or contemplating what adjustments to make here and there.
Yeah.
But something seemed lacking for me, especially with all these celebrities and people complaining and telling. I'm not finding it easy. I'm making adjustments myself. But however, there is one thing I feel that everybody needs, and that's knowledge. I think knowledge is lacking in the entire instance. Exactly why subsidy was removed. I'm not espousing to it in any way currently. That's not what the subject is. What I'm simply saying is maybe we need to know a bit more regarding the instance, why it is so. Maybe we need an ABC type explanation to the subsidy removal. And you had a story that you found on Instagram, I think?
Yes.
Please tell it
I have to give a big shout out to Leke Olushi for breaking it down this way. It was a tweet from him that was also reposted by someone else. Now, it says in the faraway kingdom lived a wealthy king who was called the Lion, right? And he cared for his people like a young man would care for his PS5.
No.
That's a games console. Now, all was going well in that kingdom until one fateful day, the price of firewood suddenly increased and the people couldn't afford it. Now, everybody needed to cook or else they would die of hunger, and no king wants his people to die of starvation. The king was really rich, so he went to all the firewood suppliers in his kingdom and said, I know that a bundle of firewood costs 5 cowries, but when my people come to buy firewood from you, please sell it to them for 3 cowries. I, the king, the emperor, the champion, and the lion will pay the remaining balance for every bundle you sell to my people. Right? So the people were really happy, you know, and he had caring king vibes going on. And whenever the people went to buy firewood, they paid 3 cowries for each bundle they bought, and the king would pay 2. So for every 100 people that went to go and buy firewood, the king was essentially paying 200 cowries, right? As they were paying 300. So at a point, you know, the government set aside money to make sure that, or let's say the lion, set aside money.
And his chiefs.
For the convenience of the people.
Yes,
you guys will continue to enjoy buying firewood so that you don't go hungry at this price. I will be subsidizing it.
Exactly.
So that's exactly the genesis of it. Well, you had a further continuation to that
Of course. So
and how it all
now, I
goes
mean,
awry.
you know, the king literally usually has a whole lot of responsibilities. He can't literally sit on everything by himself. So he decided to appoint a chief to actually be in charge of this particular subsidy. This particular situation of firewood and the marketers and all of that. And it went on well. People were happy living going forward and everything. But then again, this particular chief literally wanted some for himself. So he decided to plan with the marketers now and to tell the king that now the bundle of the firewood is now 7 naira, right?
Or 7 calories.
Or 7 calories, 7 calories. So now while the king pays his 3, the people pay the 2, or rather the people pay the 3, the king pays the 2.
Yeah.
The balance now goes to him and the marketers also get to, right? So it was going on like that, like that, like that. Of course, it was uncomfortable, but the king had to do what he had to do, kept on helping
the king was paying
and all
an
of that.
extra 2 calories now,
Yeah,
maybe 4 calories that he was
exactly.
paying for the people.
For the
who
people.
continued paying
3
calories
Exactly.
still.
Exactly.
So the king was paying more, but who
Yeah.
was he paying the more to?
To the
to the marketers, to the supervisors,
chief.
to the people in charge, the chief in charge and all of that. So going forward, people were now wondering that this chief was getting richer and richer, buying lands here and there, literally taking like, I mean, he was just
Going
he has
on
the best of
vacation,
everything.
going to
So his
Hawaii.
fellow
Inquired.
chiefs were now inquiring, what was going on? They started suspecting and they started looking into situations. They started to look into the matter and they realized what was happening after several meetings and all of that. And then they called this chief and said, see, if you don't want us to report you to this king, you have to literally settle us. We need to eat from all of this. Do you understand? We also need to, like, okay, fine, come, let us plan this. He now says, okay, fine, let's plan and tell the chief, the king that the firewood is now 10 naira, and then we'll share the others. So now we'll tell the king, exactly. So now the king, they now also advised the king to tell the people that it's now this amount, right?
4 calories.
Yes. Now, so instead of people paying 3, they should now pay 4 calories, and
remaining
king will
6
pay the
cowries.
remaining,
So,
the remaining 6
In a
cowries.
calculated way, the people
Then-
were now paying even more for firewood.
Yeah, just
Yes.
The
so it
king
went
was
up.
also paying even much
Even
more
more, yes,
for firewood,
yes.
but only to the benefit of the chieftain
Not-
and
yes.
the people who initially made that inquiry as to why he was getting
exactly.
richer.
And of
Exactly.
course, it was a lot of burden on the king, so he decided to go out and get external help from supporting
Borrowing from
villagers,
other
borrowing
towns.
from different towns to literally help his people. So that's literally what has gone on.
So, in layman's
Wow.
terms, that exactly is what the situation is with subsidy, or what we've been made to understand regarding why why it seems there's so much corruption in the system. And removing all of that, removing the chieftain, removing the extra bits and saying, okay, you know what, people, though, I've tried.
I've tried for you.
Come on, this is the actual price now. It's now 5 naira. People should be paying your 5 naira. The money I was using to subsidize before, I will use it perhaps maybe to, let's bring
other
electricity to
situations.
this village.
Yes,
Yes,
we're not going to
true.
use
Let's
firewood
do
again.
borehole.
We know
If you
what-
have electricity. So that's a better understanding of what the situation is, if you
Yes.
ask me. Now, I know that there's plenty of suffering. People are fighting and everything. But I think if we had that knowledge, we would have a little less angst.
Of course.
We would suffer through it. I'm suffering through it. We're all suffering through it. But I'm just thinking, with that knowledge, it will be less of a worry.
Yeah.
I will have better hope that perhaps I will have better amenities. Maybe I'll have electricity. Maybe I'll have so and so.
At this point, over the years, firewood actually became less in focus. You know, and this is where I'm going to throw it to MM. Do we really still need this firewood, or are there alternatives that we can use to cook? You know, I'm just going to put it out there that way.
Oh, well, I guess this is a point where we need to get more innovative, right? We need to open our minds and broaden our perspectives to how we see things.
Yeah.
I remember I was at an event sometime last week, and then the conversation around creating our own, technology that we are sort of that we could easily adapt to and work with, to suit our culture, to suit how we function as Africans. So I think this should play out, in the next, in this analogy, right?
Yeah.
Right. But then again, let's not forget that there are benefits to this removal. Yes, it is going to trickle down on, it's going to affect inflation. Of course, and this is going to transportation. You definitely affect the prices of food, but people are also asking for increase in minimum wage, increase in salaries.
That's inflation right there.
Yeah.
There are also suggestions for employers to begin to look inwards as to how to, cut down on, not cut down like fire, but less people should have to come to the office, work remotely instead. So all of those suggestions, which I think, like I said earlier, let's just have an open mind and see how we can bolster all of this, these implications to the
And I'll
removal.
also say this situation of subsidy removal, in my opinion, also furthers capitalist states. Our producer mentioned it, and of course, I also said something about that yesterday, because whether I liked it or not, now there's no cap on the fuel, how high it should go and all of that. And of course, we have how many fuel stations in...
Competition.
Do you understand? So there's competition. And then whether we like it sooner enough, as much as yes, everybody's going to go up, at a point they're going to literally find a way to get
balance
to
it.
balance it out.
Yeah.
So it definitely will all work out for good, in my
Still
opinion.
plenty of conversation on that one
Yeah.
regarding why the state or the government should actually be able to peg these prices. But that's getting
That's-
complicated.
So
Thank you very much for the explanation that you gave.
I just wanna say one thing before we wrap up.
Yeah.
The truth is, the other kings in the other neighboring villages have been laughing at the king that started paying for the firewood in the first place.
Because they're getting richer too.
Because they have been able to develop their villages.
With the money the king
With
has
the
been
money,
paying
yeah,
them.
of course.
Exactly.
When the interest as
Fantastic story. Thank you very much, ladies. That was beautiful. I couldn't explain it better myself, and I'm hoping that you also took sample and understand better what the situation is. Don't worry.
Yeah.
I said something yesterday on social media. Now God ain't get us.
Yes.
Don't worry, we'll survive. We'll get there. Thank you very much. Stay tuned. It's Wake Up Nigeria.